Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts and the Flash Marathon that we've had going on for a little bit here. Still super excited as I cast these games. This is going to be the fourth game between Flash and JaeDong. It's going to be taking place here on Citadel. And yeah, excited to see how this is going to change up. You know, we've definitely seen a variety of strategies. I've definitely been thinking a lot about what we've been seeing from Flash. And, yeah, JaeDong, honestly, I feel like he could have been up 3-0 at this point, but, you know, not really the case. But yeah, this is, what an interesting time. What a great time to be a Brood War fan. You know, just the fact that, first off, everything has been great lately, and we're actually entering into a Zerg-dominated period. Just so that you guys are aware, okay? So, like, we had a little period where Protoss was looking very, very good, and it's still looking very good. But, like, for instance, right now, most Terran players don't like to play Terran versus Zerg. It's very difficult at the moment to kill any Zerg players. There's been some crazy games lately. Obviously, Sulky has won the last couple of ASLs, and he looks completely unbeatable. He looks completely unbeatable in all the other leagues. Like, he's just crushing everybody. And you have other players that are basically there as well, like Hero, who are doing very, very similarly, where it's incredibly, incredibly hard to kill them. But, you know, it's really hard to bust Zergs right now. They kind of always can force it into that later game. So I'm kind of hoping that we see something from Flash, that he figures out how to do this. We've seen him, you know, utilizing some different strats and trying some tank pushes and stuff. Doesn't seem like it's working that well, honestly. So maybe over, you know, the next few games, we'll see him start to zero in on something that's going to be a bit stronger. Anyways, JaeDong going for the hatchery first, and just a standard 2-hatch, it looks like. Afterwards, just 2-hatch layer build there, probably just a Mutalisk rush. Flash, in the meantime, he is scouting around a little bit. Kind of an interesting scout pattern here. Look at that. He actually goes back towards his natural. So I think what this is, guys, like, this would basically catch a 9 pool, this going back, probably. But the thing is, there's 2 routes on Citadel, so the 9 pool could go through there. But he goes over here. He doesn't see the Overlord or anything, so maybe that's him thinking, okay, on a normal scout, let's go ahead, go back, maybe intercept Zerglings. Flash thinks like that a lot, about where his SCV can be to intercept certain things coming to his base. It's a good thing he doesn't play against B rankers, or they'd never come at the right time. Now, looking back at Flash's base. Okay, so since JaeDong was not over here, he knows no Overlord can go here to check on his command center. And Flash is actually setting up a little bit of a cheese here. He's going 2 racks Academy. And he's keeping those Marines out front, so Lings are not going to be able to run in. If JaeDong had been over here, there's no choice. You just have to expand, because, like, these one-base builds, you have to catch your opponent off guard. Like, let's say that JaeDong knew this was happening. He would literally just throw a Sunken down right now, and then he'd throw a second Sunken and a third Sunken over time, and Flash would be outscaled very, very quickly. Now, that being said, you know, Stim on the way. He's already got 5 Marines. He's going to go up to 7 here. I'm sure a couple medics will be popping out next. Some Lings with speed upgrade on the way coming for JaeDong, who does throw down his Spire as well. Oh, almost catches that SCV. And a few more Lings being made also. Let's see if JaeDong actually has potential to hold this. The problem is he has nothing spotting right now. If he had a Ling here, like, if you can see when the Marines leave a natural, like, you can build a Sunken before they get there. But if you see the Marines, like, here, you can't get the Sunken up before they get there. Now, a lot of Speedlings on the way. The medics come up. And, in fact, JaeDong sees this. So he's going to have to pull all of his Lings. Well, he's going to go ahead and actually try to get the engagement already. And he's going to surround it immediately. Okay, well, this game is very much over. Flash is completely screwed. GG, let's just go on to the next game. All right, so we're on Apocalypse here. And Flash going for a wall-in early on. Wants to wall this off and, you know, get his expansion up, not have to make a bunker or anything like that. JaeDong over on this right-hand spawn. And yeah, I guess we'll just see where these guys want to bring it. You know, the speedlings from JaeDong, they're obviously doing a great job. I guess that's kind of proactive against one base cheese. You're going to be able to sniff that out with those speedlings. Obviously, if Flash was just sitting back very defensively, then JaeDong would have been a bit behind there. But a good win. Tied up 2-2 right now. As far as this, well, it's not really a series. It's just ladder games. But just to mention, you know, that's... oh, God. Flash is actually going to go command center first here. JaeDong going to fly his Overlord over, and what he's going to see is a depot. The thing is, he can't punish, right? If you find out when you scout something, this is a good general rule for StarCraft, guys. If you scout something, it's too late to counter it. Okay? Now, that might sound a little bit counterintuitive, but, like, you scout this, and you're like, okay, I better get my spawning pool up and so I can attack him. No. It's too late at this point. Like, you've already chosen your build order. What you're looking for is the spot where your strategy or your build order lines up with punishing what you're scouting. That's what you're looking for. Like, so for instance, let's say that you went for a pool first and then you get over here and scout this. Well, now you know, okay, let's make full lings, right? And let's send them, as opposed to, you know, maybe it would have been a more defensive play and you scout and you see that he's already got his barracks up and he's making his second depot when you get there. And then you're like, oh, let's make drones, right? So you're looking for where your strategy lines up to punish the opponent. I think that's like, if you can internalize that, that's going to make you a much better StarCraft player. Okay, so he does wall in. And a very fast gas here as well. So this is actually going to be like a very fast factory. Maybe a Valkyrie Rush coming out of Flash. You know, Valk Rushes are pretty popular right now. A lot of Terrans are trying to bust Zerg. So just trying to go heavy anti-Mutalisk into a big Marine medic timing. We'll see if that's going to be the case. The SCV-4 Flash right now. Getting some good scouting going on. Saw that third hatchery go down. Nothing out of the ordinary, of course. And Flash just making his Marines here to feel completely safe behind that wall. Spire goes up. And yeah, we'll have to see about that possible Valkyrie here. Overlord looks like it wants to peek in a little bit. See if it can spot any more Marines or anything like that. This is a little bit suspicious because he doesn't see any Marines being made. So it's like, okay, yeah, this is definitely tech. And actually, look at this. 3 factory armories. So Flash is going to go straight up mech here. Now, this is very interesting, right? Because he's going 3 factory really quick. He is getting a vulture. And I think he'll just send the vulture across the map most likely here and get an add-on. But, you know, I was talking just a little bit earlier about how right now this is considered a pretty hard matchup because you just can't really kill Zerg. You know, it's like they have the mutas that keep you in your base, and by the time you have enough to walk through the mutas, they have lurkers. So it's like, oh, man. So that might be part of the reason why we're seeing Flash go towards mech, right? He went mech on the retro game as well. It was like a bio opener, but into mech. Now, up comes the Vulture, and JaeDong not quite ready for that, unfortunately. Ooh, almost gets that surround. And, you know, some lost mining time for sure. I'm not sure how much damage he'll actually get. Has to back up as that Sunken's going to finish. But right now, Goliath's on the way. Goliath range as well. He does have that engineering bay about to finish, so some turrets can go up. And a very fast second gas here as well. Also getting the armor upgrade. So the armor upgrade is actually slightly better in the early game. Mech attack upgrades in general are amazing because of siege tanks. Even vultures really can benefit if you're going to make a lot of vultures, because then it makes them 2-shot the drones as opposed to 3-shot. So those both can be really strong, but +1 armor helps a lot, right? Armor against Mutalisks is extremely good. People have learned that from ZVZ and the fact that there are 3 glaives. Also, it reduces Zergling damage by 25%, right? So just keeping your units alive a little bit longer can be really good. It's a little bit counterintuitive. There's not many situations where armor upgrades are actually better. It's generally melee units want armor upgrades and range units want attack upgrades. But yeah, it can be very good, especially if you're trying to hit a timing attack. in this matchup with Mech. +1 armor has always been pretty popular in that situation. Now, JaeDong flies in and sees, okay, he's going to be playing against a Goliath build here. It's going to be Mass Goliath. He is getting Burrow. So Burrow is very, very common to get against Mech, so you can just put Zerglings around and watch where the Mech is walking. You can kind of see it at all points. He actually kills a lot of SCVs. 5 factories are going to be up, and this is like, his production is getting up so quickly. Having 5 factories up as 7 minutes is insanely, insanely fast, guys. And he's going to have that +1 armor quickly as well. His range upgrade is now done. JaeDong in some trouble for sure. This is a lot of pressure coming across the map right now. Many, many mutas being made. He is going carapace for those Mutalisks. I think that was in response to the thought of the Valkyrie Rush, which is so popular right now. So Goliath's check. There is a Sunkens. Goliath's not very good against Sunkens. Looks like they will walk up to this third. JaeDong has to stomp these out. He cannot be losing this third base. Now, Flash attacks it for a moment and then turns around. He wants to join up with the other Goliaths coming across the map. Very, very important. But JaeDong has to kill these before they group up and become a critical mass that can kill him. So he jumps on top of them with his Mutalisks, has a few Lings in there, does not have the Zergling speed upgrade, which is a little bit of a problem. Having a hard time actually closing. Goliaths are surprisingly good against Zerglings, and he does mostly kill it. So the mutas he's making right now, as these additional ones pop out, he should be able to clear the Goliaths, but you can see that it's a non-stop stream of Goliaths, and JaeDong going to come down and pick off the reinforcements. This is a great move from JaeDong. He's going to be able to kill off a lot of these Goliaths, which makes this smaller group kind of stranded out here. You really need to be reinforcing. So JaeDong really utilizing his mobility here with the Mutalisks, doing a fantastic, fantastic job, and will jump on top of these other Goliaths as they come out. Flash just going to counterattack. I like this game for JaeDong right now. This is looking very, very good. Now, he's taking a lot of damage, but as long as he can kill off these Goliaths, will Flash actually hit the critical mass he needs? I'm not, like, we don't normally see Command Center first in a mass Goliath, right? It's been years since any Goliath builds have really been popular. Well, he is going to get that hatch. That's kind of a big deal. So these Goliaths will go down, and there is a hatch here, so he can still do some mining. But that is painful, right? Like, that's going to reduce his gas intake or make him make way more drones, that type of thing. The Goliath's trying to be as efficient as possible, but he will kill those off. Looks like, by the way, he had canceled Burrow to make an additional Mutalisk. Same price, right? Evolution Chamber, Hydralisk Den on the way. Of course, if your opponent is going pure Goliaths, there is a chance to switch into Hydras and have an advantage. Flash right now, he does have his +1 attack about halfway done. The Goliath mass is being made here still. I mean, he killed that off. He has killed a decent amount of mutas. But, you know, JaeDong back to mining. Brings in his group of mutas here and going to start picking off a few of these Goliaths. Of course, the Goliaths have that range upgrade, which is so insane. You can see JaeDong ending up losing there. Multiple Mutalisks taking a lot of damage without really reducing the Goliath count that much. He is trying a switch right now into Hydras. The slow Zergling's still having a little bit of a hard time. Hydra's going to be slow for a bit as well. I think he'll try to rally them to here. But if Flash just pushes right now and just keeps this macro perfect, like, it feels like JaeDong may just barely miss the mark on holding this. Some of these engagements you're seeing where the mutas are flying up and trying to pick off random Goliaths, the range of the Goliaths is really, really helping out. It's just he's taking so much damage, right? Like there he kills one and he loses a muta and takes massive damage on another muta. So trying to come in here again, he's trying to reduce these, and he's trying to buy time to get enough Hydras to do something as well. Sunken colonies can be helpful also. The thing is, he's having to sacrifice Mutalisks to buy time. That is the main thing that we're seeing here from JaeDong. So he's sacrificing a lot of these units. Like if he has, like the amount he has here, if he had those initial mutas that were lost, and then he comes in and flanks as the attack hits here, he crushes it, right? You can see a lot of sunken colonies coming up. Flash sees them, turns around a little bit. The Muta's trying to still pick off some of these units in the center. Flash is continuing to try to build to a critical mass. Dude, you never see anyone play like this. Like, he is actually bringing fresh things right at his initial return to the ladder. The fact that we're seeing like a non-stop Goliath rally, just 5 factories. He is getting into siege tanks because, again, the Goliaths don't do well against sunken colonies. Notice he has kept a little group here. This is to make sure Mutalisk can't intercept his siege tanks. If he gets 3 siege tanks up and sieged, he's going to win this game. That's my opinion. I think JaeDong basically has to clear this before the tanks get there. And his burrowed Zergling is going to see, look at that, perfect, to scout the incoming siege tanks. So JaeDong has to make a move, I think. His +1 attack is almost done. Of course, he's going to be attacking into high ground, which is never, never, never good. Just absurd macro here from Flash. Does finally get supply blocked. Oh, only for a millisecond, though. Has 3 depots finish just afterwards. This is such a large army. Okay, so Flash right now pushing the sunken down. This is very, very bad for JaeDong as more tanks come up. He's got 1/1 upgrades against just +1. Some queens are being made, but I think it's way too late for queens. I think it's way too late. JaeDong doesn't have any other bases. Flash is just going to push into this. Now, he does have to be careful. These two, this one's definitely low ground. I believe that one's completely low ground as well. The Goliaths are going to block, so you can't even snipe these tanks. JaeDong buys a little bit of time here. I don't know why he made those queens, man. That is, like, he's going to win or lose the game right now. And I think it's going to be a lose. Look at that Goliath count just spreading out. Absolutely absurd amount of Goliaths. That is a lot of Hydras, though. And he's actually doing a reasonable job. But it looks like Flash should be able to just barely win this. Some more reinforcements coming up. Crazy, crazy macro. If he had, like, just a handful less units, like, literally, if he had maybe 4 Goliaths less, I think JaeDong would have just ran that over. He had 1 less siege tank, you know, all these small things, but JaeDong just barely going to be broken. And a very, very strong mech push. It's wild to see. GG. Flash really, really experimenting right now with what is going to be popular. And that does give him, like, in these 5 maps, I guess a 3-2 victory over JaeDong, although definitely feels like it could have gone either way. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.